Hello. We're going to do a pretty simple video this week, an important technique everyone needs to know, and that's how to clean your imaging sensor. Here we go. So, every SLR and mirrorless camera owner needs to know how to clean his or her sensor. This is simple, this is easy to do. I'm not a big fan of paying somebody else to do it just because you're paying people for what is effectively a pretty simple procedure. And I want you to know how I do it. And what I use is a pretty simple kit. I use a wet chemistry process. I've also used hurricane blowers, and I have used dry kits, though I find this to be my most effective tool most of the time. A wet chemistry system is going to have sensor cleaning fluid, and it will specifically say that it is for sensors, not for optics. It's going to have some swabs, and the actual pads on these you use once and then toss. Those are typically PEC pads. That's the type that I have used before. You cut these strips, you replace the pads on the swabs, and you use them for years and years. I've had this kit now for about 5 years, and I am just at a point of needing to replace the sensor cleaning solution. So you're going to see me clean the sensor of a D810. With your mirrored SLRs, we just go in the menu to the mirror lockup for sensor cleaning, and this is going to open up the shutter mechanism and the mirror and turn off all electricity running to the sensor. The only way to get out of sensor cleaning mode is to turn the camera off. Of course, if you have a mirrorless camera, this is even easier. You just turn the camera off and remove the lens, and you're off and cleaning your sensor. Sensor cleaning kits are going to come in different sizes. 24mm is going to be for full frame, and 17mm size swabs are going to be for APS-C. Without further ado, let me show you the simple process and how this is done. Let's get into it.
So the kit that I have in front of me is pretty simple, as you can see. Some sensor cleaning solution. I've got a swab with an unused pad on it. And that's really all that I'm going to need. These PEC pads here are for replacements, and I can cut them into strips as I need. So I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to grab my camera, and I'm going to get this prepped because you want to leave the sensor exposed for the briefest amount of time possible. And I normally would not do this with the camera facing upwards, but I'm going to do so here just for purposes of being able to record. So with a mirrored SLR, we go into the menu and we find where it says mirror lockup for cleaning, which is right here. Sorry for the glare. And that's going to lock the mirror up, open the shutter, and turn off electricity to the sensor. Now, this will start when you push the shutter release button in. So I'm going to turn the camera around so that you can see that actually start, and the sensor will be exposed. So there's the mirror box. When I press the shutter, it opens. So now I'm going to put really only 2 drops of my sensor cleaning solution on each side of the swab. I do each side so that if I do 2 passes, I can use a different side of the swab for each one. You do not want to put dust back onto your sensor. Now you can move sideways, which is traditional, or you can move vertically, and that would be totally appropriate. I'm just going to swipe once across that way, and this 24mm swab is the width of the sensor, so I really only need to do that once, and this sensor is clean. If you have more dust on the sensor, then you can rinse and repeat effectively, but you never apply too much pressure onto the sensor. It really needs to be a light touch. Doing it more often is better than using more force. So I'm going to put the swab back inside to replace the pad, put the cap back on the sensor, and I am in good shape to go.
So that's it. Cleaning a sensor, very simple, straightforward, easy to do. It's something every SLR owner should be able to do. You're not going to need to do this until you actually see spots of dust show up in your pictures or video, but this should be something that you can tackle pretty easily. I have to clean the sensor of my cameras usually 2 to 3 times a year, but your usage and your environment are going to vary. It's that simple. If there is a technique that you want to see me talk about in shooting or in camera care and maintenance, I'd love to tackle it. I am going to take next week off for the week of Christmas and then be back with a whole bunch of videos. I'm going to be aiming some things at new SLR owners, especially with new entry-level cameras, but I'm hoping to tackle a lot of different subjects into the new year. Anyway, I hope that that was useful for you. Of course, I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe. It's free, you knew that, and I hope to have some useful things for you in the future. Have a wonderful day.